Wait, I thought this was a video on Russia. Why is there Swedish music playing? During the Viking Age, Sweden found itself inconveniently cut off from all the fun that the Danes and Norwegians were having due to this little thing called geography. Turns out that it's hard to raid churches and stuff when all the people within striking distance are dirty pagans, so the Swedes decided just to do their own thing entirely. Luckily, right across the Baltic Sea, there was this place called Finland, and since ski troops hadn't been invented yet, the Swedish Vikings made short work of the locals and started to settle the area. These Vikings were known as the Rus by the Finns, and since the name sounded cool, everyone just kinda went along with it. The Rus then started slowly expanding south, and by the 9th century had expanded into northern Russia, founding the city of Novgorod along the way. However, the local Slavs thought that being ruled by the Rus was dumb, so they revolted and kicked them back to Finland. And then they started fighting each other. According to legend, it is here when the Slavs got together and invited a Rus man named Rurik back to rule over them. But given the Vikings' track record, I feel like something like this actually happened. So then, we killed Actually, that sounds a little harsh. Write down that they wanted us to come. In fact, write down that they actually wanted me to be king. Are you getting this? Over the next several decades, Rurik and his descendants conquered a vast area of Eastern Europe, eventually founding a state called the Kievan Rus, with their capital at Kiev. The Rus formed the nobility of the state, ruling over the local Slavs. However, tracksuits and cheap assault rifles were just too attractive, and over the years the Rus became more and more Slavic in both appearance and culture. The Rus were also renowned warriors, and would often serve as mercenaries for whoever was willing to pay them the most. When serving as mercenaries, the Rus were alternatively called Varangians and found service with the Byzantine Empire especially, eventually becoming the elite bodyguard of the emperor. When they weren't busy fighting, the Kievan Rus became very wealthy due to the many navigable rivers of Eastern Europe, and many important cities were founded to help facilitate trade. The Rus traded primarily with the Byzantines and Arabs to the south, but also dabbled in the western markets of the Frankish realms and whatever else was going on over there. Trade with Byzantium eventually led to the Rus trying to conquer Constantinople like 50 times, but when that failed, they were just like, well, if you can't beat them, join them, and converted to Orthodox Christianity. At this point, the Rus were starting to look a lot less like Vikings and a lot more like Russians. Oh, that's why that name sounds familiar!